Hello friends, welcome back to the Learning Library. In this video, we are going to discuss all things about fossils. I know you know what a fossil is, but we're going to go into depth on how fossils are made and where you can find them. Let's go. This story is called Fossils Tell Stories. It is written by Yurin Kim, illustrated by Hyeon-joo Lee, and edited by Joy Cowley. Fossils tell stories. Brush, brush, scrape, scrape, dig, dig. Look, dinosaur bones. These are fossils of a dinosaur called Allosaurus. From head to tail, it is as long as the height of a four-story building. Fossils are the remains of animals and plants buried and hardened underground long ago. Traces of animals and plants are also called fossils. So the only things that are fossils, are they just dinosaur bones? No, traces of other animals and plants are also called fossils. Did all dinosaurs turn into fossils when they died? No, just because they died doesn't mean they became fossils. Other animals could eat them. The bones left over could decay and disappear without a trace. Then how did dinosaurs become fossils? There may have been a landslide, something that happened and dinosaurs got buried under the earth. Their flesh decayed and only bones were left. So the dinosaur died and the earth shifted, so the land up here moved on top of the area the dinosaur was on, so it created a layer of earth. So under this land is the dinosaur remains. My dog buried bones in the earth. Are they also fossils? No, they are not fossils. To turn into a fossil, a bone has to be buried for a long, long time so that it becomes hard like a rock. What about clay pots made by early people? Those aren't fossils either. Things made by early people are called artifacts. Are these animals fossils or plant fossils? If they look like the animals of today, then they are animal fossils. We have some labels. So labels tell us what is in the picture. This label says fish fossil. This label says crab fossil. And this label says sea urchin fossil. If they look like the plants of today, then they are called plant fossils. More labels: tree leaf fossil, symphonosid fossil, and equisetium fossil. Fossils of dinosaur footprints. The remains of animal footprints or their claw marks are called fossils. Here is a fossil of a dinosaur footprints, and here are dinosaur skin fossils. So this is what a dinosaur's skin texture looked like. It had shapes, a pattern of shapes. Here is a dinosaur dung fossil, dinosaur eggs fossil, and reptile dung fossils. Remains left by living creatures are also fossils. By looking at fossils, we can work out what kind of creatures lived long ago. A sea animal with a wrinkled coiled shell is an ammonite. A fish with a head shaped like a shield is a shield is a cephalipus. Mammoth, a land animal like an elephant but twice as big and covered with long hair. Fossils tell us how animals lived a long time ago. It must have been a ferocious hunter. Allosaurus, a long, strong tail gave it balance to knock down prey, so they used their tails to hit other animals. It must have walked on two legs. Strong, sharp toes were for grabbing prey and tearing meat. It must have been a carnivore. Large, sharp teeth were for chewing meat. It must have been it must have had very hard armor. Trilobite. When an enemy came, it protected itself by curling up. It must have lived on water and on land. Tiktaalik. Fins had long bones for swimming and walking. Fossils tell us stories about ancient lives. We can figure out many things by looking at these bones. Roar! How are fossils made? So they're going to give us a display on how fossils are made. It says step 1, fish and clams live under the sea. Step 2, when fish die, they sink down. Step 3, the dead fish are buried under layers of mud. Step 4, their flesh decays, but the hard parts of their bodies remain. Step 5, over a long time, the remains become as hard as rock. Step 6, more time passes, the earth cracks, and the fossils are revealed. So you can make a fossil at home. It says, let's make a fossil. Pick a leaf off of a tree, put the leaf on a flat piece of soft clay, put another piece of soft clay over the leaf. 4, press evenly all over. 5, remove the top layer of soft clay. 6, dry the leaf imprinted clay in the shape. Friends, in this story, Fossils Tell Stories, we learned about how are fossils created. We found out where you could find fossils. We found out what fossils tell us about different animals. And we also found out what the difference between a fossil and an artifact are. So in Class Dojo, I would like for you to answer 2 out of the 4 questions. So you can either answer the first question, which is, how do fossils form? The second question is, what do fossils tell us? The third question is, where can we find fossils? And the last question is, what is the difference between a fossil and an artifact? Thanks, friends, for joining me for another story in the Learning Library. Until next time, I wish you well.